What is up, guys? It's your boy Sutton Def from the Purple Rain Podcast. This is the first official installment of a thing that I'm going to like to call 5-Minute MMA. It's going to be something a little bit different here where I basically talk UFC/MMA news and updates, things like that, for about 5 minutes. This is the first official episode of it. Let's start. So, guys, this weekend is UFC 260. This is a stacked card. It was even more stacked before one of the fights got taken off due to COVID illnesses and stuff like that. But the rest of the card is actually really good. So I'm going to go ahead and get to the 3 top fights from the main card, starting with the third to last one, which is going to be Thomas Almeida going up against Sugar Sean O'Malley. Now, who are these two guys? Thomas Almeida, he's a veteran in the UFC. He's been around for a long time. He's had his ups, he's had his downs. He is a very exciting fighter to watch. He throws a lot of like crazy kicks and things like that, knees. You never really know what he's going to do. He's a really good striker too. He's a really good striker. So he's going up against the Sugar Show, Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is kind of a newer fighter in the UFC. I think he's got like 3 fights under his belt in the UFC, and I think he's about 2-1. But total he's 12-1. Now the thing about Sean O'Malley, he likes to refer to himself as undefeated. The last time he fought, he actually lost, but he doesn't count that loss because his opponent, who was Chito Vera, kicked his calf and made his nerve kind of shut down, so he couldn't walk. And for whatever reason, Sean O'Malley thinks that wasn't a fair and square way to lose. The fact that his nerve ended up getting damaged and he could no longer stand, and he ended up getting knocked out, ground and pounded because of it. He doesn't take it as a loss. He says he's mentally undefeated, whatever. The guy's 12-1. Who do I have winning this fight? I've got Sean O'Malley. I'm a big Sean O'Malley fan. I don't like that he calls himself undefeated. It's just like, come on, dude. Take your loss, move on. We all lose. It happens, But I've got him winning this fight. I've got him winning it, in a huge bounce back effort. Like I said, Thomas Almeida, he's not like old or anything like that, but he's kind of been around, he's kind of never been to the cream of the crop. He wins a few fights, loses a few fights. He's that sort of guy, that kind of fighter. So I've got Sean O'Malley, and I've got him by, I'd probably say, 2nd round knockout. I think he'll probably just overwhelm Thomas Almeida. He might hurt him in the 2nd round, and then Thomas Almeida, he might not ever be able to recover. I think that's probably what ends up going down. But that's that fight. The second fight that I'm going to talk about on this card is Tyron Woodley versus Vicente Luque. Now, Tyron Woodley, first of all, these are welterweights, guys, but Tyron Woodley is a fighter who was an ex-welterweight champion all the way up until 2018, where he lost his belt to Kamaru Usman in dominating fashion, absolutely dominating fashion. Kamaru Usman took his soul that night in 2018 in the octagon, and Tyron Woodley has never got it back because he has not won a single round, not a fight. He's not won a single round since then. So he's on a 3-fight losing streak, going up against a guy, Vicente Luque, who is on a 3-fight winning streak, who's a lot younger, a lot hungrier. He's a lion in the division. Just somebody that a lot of people are paying close attention to. He had a recent loss to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson a couple years ago, but ever since then, he's beaten guys like Randy Brown, Nico Price, who are very, very talented strikers, very, very talented guys. So with that being said, I'm definitely going to have to go with Vicente Luque in this fight. Like I said, I just think he's a lot younger, a lot hungrier, and he wants that title. He wants that title, and he's not going to let a guy like Tyron Woodley stand in his way. I feel like there's going to be a lot of grappling. That's going to be his key to victory. Grapple Tyron Woodley. Get him tired. That's how you get Tyron Woodley out of there. That's how you make him not want to fight anymore. And I think that's what will happen ultimately. Now, the main event on the card on UFC 260, the heavyweight championship fight of the world. Stipe Miocic versus Francis Ngannou 2. For those of you guys who do not know, Stipe Miocic beat Francis Ngannou 3 years ago in a heavyweight championship fight. It went the distance. It went all 5 rounds, all 25 minutes. And Stipe Miocic, he won in dominating fashion, right? Francis Ngannou, we all know him for just being a huge, just big, powerful, will-imposing kind of guy on heavyweights. Like, he has what they call the touch of death. He touches you, you go to sleep. But not that night, though. Francis Ngannou, he landed some big shots for sure on Stipe, But Stipe just was not fazed. He was not deterred, and all credit goes to Stipe because he's got the heart of a lion, heart of a champion, chin of a champion as well, because he took some big shots from Francis Ngannou that night, but he was able to weather the storm. He took Francis down a couple times, and Francis, he ended up getting tired. He kind of blew everything, all his energy, all his steam in that first round, trying to knock him out like he does to everybody else. But that was younger. That was young Francis. That was him earlier in his career. Now Francis Ngannou, you've seen a lot more maturity, and I know a lot of people say, oh, we haven't seen much from Francis since the last time he fought Stipe. He's fought like 3 fights since then. He's fought like 3 times since then, and they've all been devastating knockouts. Devastating knockouts. Well, he's fought 4 times because he lost to Derek Lewis. That was probably the most boring heavyweight fight ever. Then he beat Cain Velasquez, knocked him out. He beat Junior Dos Santos, knocked him out. Then he beat Jairzinho Rozenstruik, knocked him out as well. But the Junior Dos Santos fight was where we really got to see some improvement out of Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, he was stuffing takedowns, and he really just showed that he's not just some touch of death guy, some big Broly type fighter. Like, no, he can actually mix it up with these guys too in the grappling exchanges. So with that being said, I've got Francis winning this fight. I've got Francis winning the fight. He's a lot more mature on the feet now. He's not going to rush in and blow his load in the first round like he did last time. But it's going to be a good fight. It's definitely going to be a very good fight. My only thing about Stipe is he is a lot older in his career. He spent the last 3 years fighting Daniel Cormier, UFC legend Daniel Cormier, and he won. He came out of that trilogy the victor, and I feel like he really has nothing else. He's been in wars. He was in a war with DC, 2 of them, 2 wars with DC. He's been in wars earlier in his career as well. So I think at this point, Francis Ngannou, he's going to go in there. He's going to be very disciplined. He's going to pump his jab, keep Stipe at a distance, not allow the wrestling. Now, here's the thing. Francis has been working on the wrestling too. He's been paired up with Coach Dewey. He's been paired up with the UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman to help him with his wrestling as well. So I think that Stipe is going to have a lot harder time trying to get Francis to the ground. And for that reason, they're going to be standing more often. And who do I give the advantage to on the feet? Francis Ngannou. So that's going to be my official pick for UFC 260. I've got Francis Ngannou beating Stipe Miocic. I've got Vicente Luque beating Tyron Woodley. And I've got Sugar Sean O'Malley beating Thomas Almeida as well. Guys, I don't know if this was 5 minutes. It may have been a little bit longer than that. I'm sorry if it was, but this has been 5 Minute MMA from your boy Sutton Def on the Purple Rain Podcast. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well for more content. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Peace.